let's put our tinfoil hats on. So tinfoil hat game. I'm gonna need y'all on this one. Massive underground structures were found beneath the Giza pyramids, sparking energy grid conspiracy theories. So let's just go into the details of this. Archaeologists have discovered huge spiral-shaped. Hold on, what the hell?
It's some Billy Carson type shit, though, no? Only because he was talking about how these are power
Let me read
plants.
this real quick. My bad. This damn pop up. Archaeologists have discovered huge spiral-shaped cylinder structures stretching over 600 meters, about 2,000 feet straight down beneath the pyramids of Giza. These massive findings, located more than 2 kilometers, 1.2 miles below the pyramid's base. So just think about how far down in the ground you would have to dig to build these. And mind you, there's been a lot of memes going around for years.
What pyramids?
Giza.
Oh, Giza.
Yeah, the Great Pyramids of Giza. So I actually been there. So these rumors have been going on for a long time, and now they got this new sonar technology. So I guess that's what they used. And however they got back the readings from the sonars, that's how they found the depth of just how far this goes down.
So the Giza pyramids is in Egypt, right?
Yeah, it's in Egypt. It's in Egypt. A stunning new radar study has sent shockwaves across the internet, blah, blah, blah. Using synthetic aperture radar, tomography, scientists Corrado Malongo of the University of Pisa and the Filippo. Bro, I don't know how to say these people's names. This is a whole nother damn language.
God damn, y'all got some names on here.
Bro, these niggas' names is crazy. The university scanned the pyramid and uncovered what appears to be an underground system stretching 2 kilometers below all 3 major pyramids. These findings made public through a scientific paper and a press release issued on March 15th detail 5 identical multi-level structures connected by geometric pathways near the base of the Khafre pyramid. I don't even know which one that is. Even more striking were the 8 vertical cylinder wells encircled by spiral pathways descending 648 meters below the surface. These wells untimely merged into 2 massive cube-shaped chambers, each measuring 80 meters on each side. This is nuts. And another article I read that they're even alleging that there are some non-human-like bodies down there.
I believe it. Whenever I hear shit like this, I always think about how, people say, oh, well, they weren't smart as us back then. I truly believe that each generation or each, phase of human beings were just as smart. It's just different tools and resources that they had to build with. That's why it's hard for us to figure out how they did what they did, and maybe we can't do what they did because we don't understand it. But it doesn't mean that they were less smart than us, because there's been reports of shit being found in Oklahoma that was from Egypt. So how did shit get across from all the way over there if back then they weren't even able to travel and do different things? So when you hear this, to me, it's just people back then were just as smart. It's just that we are not able to figure out how they did what they did. So to keep everybody, on one plane, we say, oh, they weren't. But they were for sure, because how would you say 20 kilometers underground, 3 symmetrical floors or whatever the case is? That's not easy to do. That's something we can't even do right now.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say a lot of them was even smarter back then.
Probably.
Because I feel like you was more connected to your inner self and your higher consciousness, I believe, because without all the technology, that shuts out your third eye. That stops you from being connected to universal laws. And if anybody knows anything about a God consciousness, you able to tap into those things in different ways through forms of meditation or working with the inner strength, the inner power within yourself. And I think a lot of that they take away from us. And even a lot of these things that I've studied over years when it comes to certain books and things, this stuff be from 1919, 1918, and the universal laws and the power of belief and the power of the things within yourself, the way you can tap into other channels outside of yourself from going within yourself. Even though how crazy that sounds, you're able to tap into a higher consciousness and move as your higher self. I think a lot of us in the state, we move as our lower selves. We don't even tap into the higher consciousness to even get in that depth to understand how they created these, what is the geometric pathways? And
So
that's in a sense, that's just like a pathway with certain angles and stuff like that, right? Like certain routes. Yeah.
So you
So-
feel like we've regressed because you posted something on your story
Yes.
saying, this is the most. It was a talking about we've taken the most pictures now, but we've done the less. Like we've done the least. You posted something like that, which really made me think like, damn, that is so true. We didn't have social media back then. We didn't have TV. None of the shit that we consider technology or high tech, and they did more things back then that are mind boggling to where we can't even understand. Now they did that back then.
We still can't grasp it.
Yeah.
And I was just saying to a point where I feel like technology, we had these conversations before. I feel like technology is making us dumber. Like we just said, if you lose the phones right now, people lose their minds. You don't even know how to get to another city no more.
Yeah, it said, never has a generation so diligently recorded itself accomplishing so little. So I want y'all to think about the Great Pyramids, because a lot of people don't know the details of how it was built. The granite used to build the pyramids, they transported it from over 500 miles away. No cars, no plane, no trains, allegedly no modern technology at all. If you've ever stood next to this pyramid, it is massive. It is physically impossible for humans to have walked, gathered up enough materials from 500 miles away to build these structures, literally perfect to the last degree. If one block of that pyramid is slightly off, the entire structure is off. It's like geometrically perfect. It's aligned up with the stars and the galaxy and the Milky Way. The coordinates of it, I believe, it comes out to the size of like of the actual Earth.
Mhm.
So it was like the mathematics connected with the Great Pyramids alone is insane. Literally, it's insane. Look this up. So I do believe there's structures under there. And they've been saying this for a long time. Like when I was out there, they had just discovered a new tomb, and one of the excavators was telling us that they probably uncovered maybe only 2% of what they believe is really out there. So when you stand in front of the pyramid, your body, you just feel electricity. Like everything is in slow motion. Like all that shit Billy Carson was saying, he wasn't capping about that. When you step foot in front of that and you look up like this, it's like everything around that, you feel like a magnetic force just around it. You just start to feel powerful.
Bro, they teach us not to look at the sun. They teach us to stay. If you think about it, when we get in the car, we under metal. You get in the house, you're not having real lights. Far as you're not getting the rays that you get from the sun. But I just want to read something real quick to elaborate what I was trying to get on. Far as when it comes to the this is this dude named Ernest Holmes. If y'all don't know Ernest Holmes, look him up. But he said Ernest Holmes taught that God is not a separate being, but an infinite, all-pervading presence that exists within and through all of creation. This idea aligns with the concept of divine oneness, which means that every individual is an expression of God, not a part, but fully connected to the divine source. So to me, I feel like they were more fully connected to that source that he speaks of. And I think they take that a lot away from us, and even understanding that might sound crazy to people even hearing me talk about it now, because they might look at me like I'm out my mind. But I look at it like, in a sense, if, say God was the ocean, and you take a cup and dip it in that ocean, and that cup is you still have everything that's in that ocean. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's what it comes to with the human spirit. We are not God as a whole, but we are all connected in spirit, and that God qualities are still within you. If that makes sense.
No, it does.
Fact.
Do you think that they've built, these underground pathways to hide, I don't want to say hide, but to leave something behind for us to find, information-wise, technology-wise, resource-wise? Or do you think it's just there for them to preserve something that they wanted to preserve? Because, rich people today, they want to be able to preserve memories and things like that of themselves. So when people come, into the future, they'll say, okay, these people were of this status, et cetera, et cetera. So do you think they've put them there with things in there for us to find and learn and grow from? Or do you think it's more of a preservation?
I believe that's what the hieroglyphics were.
Mm-hmm.
We just can't transcribe them. We can't read what the hell they say. But literally every inch of these stones, when you go to the, not the Great Pyramids, they have like a few hieroglyphics on the inside. But when you go to Luxor and you go to the Karnak temple, every inch of stone has a different type of hieroglyphic on it. And you know for a fact, those are telling stories and leaving clues. And there's been a bunch of theories that, you know, they were here, they ran out of resources, so they left. Because some people saying they're UFOs, or some people say they got extinct, and a lot of the technology that they had went with them. Because if you look at a lot of the hieroglyphics, some of them, shit, you see helicopters, you see modern technology on those hieroglyphics. And if you go to the very top of the pyramid, they flew a drone over it. The bricks at the top are inscribed with hieroglyphics. So as far as what's down there, what they were saying were the pyramids are like basically energy sources. They chamber energy, because at the top of the pyramid was solid gold. They wind up taking it off. And then the outside of the pyramid was coated with, like, I believe limestone. And you know, you generate energy with the limestone. And then if you go on the inside, they have like these, I forget what they call them, but basically water will run through to conduct energy. And then at the very top, like I said, they had the 24 karat gold. So the whole thing was used, if you look at how they built it, it's like an energy conductor. It's like a damn near a nuclear plant. And if you look at the coordinates of the pyramids are the speed of light. So how would somebody with no modern technology, no known of the universe or anything, be able to construct that? And then it's so crazy that the Great Pyramids of Giza, they're aligned with the 4 cardinal points, north, south, east, west, with an accuracy better than 4 minutes of arc. So without modern technology, or it would be physically impossible.
See, but this
for them to be just some dumb caveman.
But exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro.
This is why I say they were way tapped in, and I think in their times they was able to more so preserve and care about human life at a different rate, as they all cared about each other. So I think, like y'all said, they did leave clues to let people evolve, and maybe to teach each other. You know what I'm saying? So you might go in these caves, you might go down here at certain times to meditate, or just to learn the teachings of the things that they taught. So they might have to put it down, because as they grow older, you might have the younger ones do the same thing. We always talk about, each one teach one, reach one. And I believe they chose to do that. And whoever continues to live the type of lifestyles that they chose to live in them times was able to grow from it and learn all the different things of the aspects of life. And even back then, they studied the world. They studied the way nature was. They knew it was just sun up, sun down. I don't even think they cared about time as much. You know what I'm saying? I just think they got stuff done during the day, and they knew how to study as far as the rain and the seasons of Earth, I would say.
Let me point this out too. So shout out to Billy Carson, because it's his lane. So Billy Carson, it's your time to shine, cuz you took the L during the debate.
Yeah, you
right now is your time to shine.
Enoch, yeah, but
so if you look up Thoth, there's a Thoth. He's known as the ancient god of wisdom and knowledge. And allegedly he left a book, or a Bible, with all this knowledge, called the Emerald Tablets, which Billy Carson talks about all the time.
I gotta get a hold of that.
And in the Emerald Tablets, he describes these structures under the pyramid. So this shit was already written about. This is why you see the memes floating around, and people, oh, you conspiracy theorists. This information is already floating around in these Emerald Tablets. So really, right now is the time to start going to tap in to a lot of Billy Carson's content, because he talks about this stuff, and get a hold of these Emerald Tablets and really read what's in there, and you'll see everything that's being discovered was already written.
Look at the art of this geometric pathway.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's nuts.
When you're inside the pyramids, bro, you're like, how the fuck did they do this? Because mind you, the tools that they needed to be able to be sharp enough to cut that granite, to cut those stones, to cut the limestone and the gold, it wasn't supposed to exist at that point in time. So you know for a fact they were tapped into something else. And mind you, they thought the pyramids were tombs for the pharaohs or the kings. No bodies have ever been found in any pyramid ever. So that's not what it was for. And like I said, there were certain doors that were closed off to the public that we couldn't go through. And they were telling us like, yeah, you know, we found new entrance ways and still like secret compartments and secret doors that they were using the sonic technology when I went out there a couple years ago. So I can imagine what they found now. Like it's insane. That's one trip that you have to take. You have to take.
And it's crazy.
Crazy.
It's crazy that you say the way things were set up and the way they had the top of the pyramids, because we have healing energies. You have certain things to already to heal yourself. And I firmly believe they knew about all the chakras and everything else to get the human body to work at a better capacity than what we know.
I've seen reports that they even moved it with stone or with sound. So sound was supposedly a prevalent way in how they moved pieces of the pyramid, into the shape that they wanted it to be. How true is that? I don't know. But I also wonder.
But that's crazy. Not to cut you off real quick, Kali, because everything is a vibration.
Exactly.
Nothing is really solid. When they break this down to the microscope, this table not even solid.
It's moving right now.
Yeah, exactly. So to say they was doing that with sound, to me, is believable.
It could be what it was.
You can go on YouTube and see them moving things with sound.
Yeah.
If you get the right vibration high enough, you can move shit with sound. I mean, just get something something light and yell at it. You can see
moves.
it shake. It moves. So imagine being able to do that at a high capacity. Because they say we only use certain percentages of our brain. I don't believe that. I think they know secrets to a lot of shit, but they keep that information hidden, because if you could tap into what we're able to really tap into, we'd be like damn near aliens in a sense. Because they said everybody has the power to read minds and read thoughts, which I do believe in. Because you ever be sitting next to your boy?
We do it sometimes.
We do it here on the pod.
You just did it to me the other day when we was on the show with DW. I said, this nigga, I didn't mention it, but I'm like, nigga, I was waiting for you to stop talking to say exactly what you said.
Exactly.
And I'm not gonna lie, nigga, I done had conversations with people and not said nothing, and they said what I needed them to say. Mm-hmm. Nigga, this shit is crazy.
I swear to God.
And it makes no sense. I ain't gonna say it don't make no sense, but I'll be like, damn, how do I stay in this 24/7 on this level?
I get what you're saying.
Because you know what I'm saying? You, and that's why they say you choose to entertain the thoughts. Even when you think about people and then they call you or you call them. I was just thinking about you. I swear to God, I can't make this up. I was just thinking about you. Like,
I think it's detachment though.
You like, that signal like
everything. No,
nigga,
I'm saying
I can't make this up, nigga. I swear to God, nigga. I remember I was in prison, nigga, and I was thinking about a female. And then one day, the next time I talked to bro, he said, "Hey, why Whoopty Whoop just asked about you?" I said, that shit crazy. So it make me think about the manifestation and all that type of shit. And I'm just like, that shit is wild. I believe it for sure.
It goes back to what you were saying though, about we are hooked up to, certain blue light, right? We under certain metals. We use certain materials and things like that probably suppress our energy, our healing ability, and the way we're able to, receive certain things and learn and grow. So I think that we probably have to detach more from certain technology if we want to get tapped back in to the things that people had back in the day.
Even if you start to see people like Conor McGregor. He hugging trees now. You know what I'm saying? But people might look at him crazy, but they say you get the energy, the oxygen, all that stuff from the trees. The same way we wear shoes 24/7.
Not supposed
We're
to.
never getting rooted in the grass or the sun. We're never, if you think about it, you're in a house already, you're secluded. Like I said, and certain energy you're never getting. If you're not stepping outside into that sun to soak up those rays, and they make it think it's bad for you, I know it's not bad. I never doubted that, because every time I step outside, the sun give me energy.
You feel good.
When I'm sick, if I go sit in the sun, nigga, I feel better after. Like I was telling bro last time with the dog, I watch the dog always. If we leave the dog in the house too long, she'll go outside as soon as you open the door and go sit in the sun. Mm-hmm. Then it's like they teach you to hug your dogs more, because the sun, the dogs ain't wearing no shoes. So you're soaking that energy from the dog to yourself.
Hey, shout out to MacWap. I see he's in Egypt right now. I'm telling you, I want to chop it up with him when he gets back. Out of body experience, bro. You go to that temple, bro, just how massive these structures are, you would need cranes to move this stuff, and to get that high, you would need scaffolding, you would need all type of modern technology that we use now to build bridges and buildings and, tanks and vessels. That shit is more detailed than the shit we got now. Like, I'm telling you, down to the last inscription, you like, what this shit is geometrically perfect, and it's thousands of them. Like, what's the King Tut? His slippers or his sandals that were made out of gold? Nigga, the detail on that shoe, when you look at that shit up close in person, you like, no human could do this. This shit is crazy.
It's like we growing backwards down there.
Bro, it's crazy.
And I think that's what they want.
And like just the details, because you got to think, if you've ever done construction or anything, how hard it is just to put a straight line in the cement. So imagine a structure big as a fucking skyscraper, a straight stone. Perfect. No rebar in there, no nothing. And it's solid, it's not moving. Bro, I was mind blown.
And the fact that they still here to this day.
Still here to this day.
Weathered every storm is
Your
been-
house not even 10
Exactly.
years old, and that shit already falling apart, need to be redone. That shit is thousands of years. And what make me really believe this shit is real, and I really do believe there's more than one God, I don't think it's just one God. So when they tell the story of the gods, because what they tell you in the original Bible, it was gods with an S. The people who rewrote it and wanted to control people, and they took the S off. But if you go back in Egypt, you see gods and all different gods that represent different aspects of life. So they got the god of, like, let's say reproduction. So they take you there at the Karnak temple and you see his, I forget his name, but you look at the hieroglyphic, they got dude there, they got his paws, his dick is like 18 feet, and then there's people grappling at his dick, and then they're trying to catch his semen, and that represents, like, you know, reproduction. So it's like these motherfuckers was tapped into everything, bro. Like the story of Jesus and the 12 disciples predates Jesus and the 12 disciples.
You got the
Predates
God of the
Bible.
Sun, Amun Ra. They
God
got-
of the Sun. All of these stories, they just remix from there and put different names on them. Like, this is why I tell people, how do you subscribe into this shit when this story already existed, predating this, before they rewrote it?
It's
Literally,
crazy.
Cain and Abel, that story already told. Man, y'all better start waking y'all game up out here, man.
Makes you wonder, like, even are the translations that we're being, fed, or even the truth, or are they tweaked a little bit again to control us and what we do and what we believe?
I just believe God is within us, and I feel like they tell us a story to make us feel like we're separated, just so you don't know the power of what you could do. I think everybody is a manifestation if you have a soul within your body of that, and you can do the same teachings or the same things that he's done. And that's why I feel like the power of that, but we don't understand it. This is why you connected with your thoughts and your energy and your spirit are able to be in balance. And you're able to do a lot of things that people couldn't believe. And it's like, even when you think about stories, if you hear of a mama and her kid under a car or something, she just magically lifted the car
Lifting up the
yeah.
2-ton truck.
You know,
It's true.
exactly. So it's power in you. We just don't know how to tap into it.